be a kind of polite love or bright. I only have eyes for you.
Disclaimer for today's video, mine and Alex's review of The Companion is very spoiler heavy, so we're just warning the viewers now. But without further ado, The Companion. This film focuses on Josh and Iris, who are travelling in their car to visit some friends in a very wealthy lakeside county home. And what begins to unravel as tensions in the film becomes a very bizarre situation. But Alex, I'll let you roll with this. Did you enjoy the mystique of the first segment of this film?
Yeah, so that's a good way. First segment of the film is different than the rest because it relies heavily on a revelation, which happens about 20 minutes maybe into the film. And it's very awkward, but it's very relatable too, I found. So this girl, Iris, and is treated, when they get to this cabin, which is this very posh cabin and massive, around the lake and everything. So it's really nice. And the other couples that are there already are treating her in a very weird way, as in arrogant way. They don't care what she says, what her opinions are. They don't really want her there. It's almost like she's completely out of place. She's one of these people, like, these guys are either, when you step into a very rich environment, friends, or for example, or, there's a very big gap in culture or between the people there, and just feel out of place. This is very palpable in the very first part of the film. And then obviously we get that section where, this is where the spoiler is, we found out Iris is actually a robot, and she's been bought by Josh's character, and that's why people treat her that way. But what was your thoughts on the first part of the film?
Well, initially I went into the movie blind, for lack of a better phrase, and I'm glad I did on your recommendation, because even the movie poster gives the game away. The best surprise in this film is revealed in the movie poster, which is Iris with these gleaming white eyes, which suggests that she's a robot. And for more learned minds, when they're watching the intro of this film, would probably guess that, and I think you might have, Alex. I didn't see any movie posters though, and I was enthralled by this kind of this awkward interaction, and they're treating her not very well because they know she's a robot and a cyborg, but she still has feelings, and she can still feel pain. But yeah, when you find out that she is a robot in the film, and she's part of a quite devious plan by Josh and Kat in the film, and you start to really root for her, and you want the underdog to win. But yeah, it kind of plays on quite a few things in this film. You've already mentioned, the intro with this social setting. This is done very well, and it doesn't matter that she's a robot, and that's why we're treating it like that. It could have been any situation. It could have been a class situation. It could have been a race situation. It could have been a cultural situation. It could have been a wealth situation. So that's very good. But yeah, the whole idea of this people buying an AI as a companion that you can have sex with is definitely, I would say, almost slightly relevant to what will happen in the future. Because Josh in the film can literally control Iris from his phone, whether that's her intelligence, her eye color, to her interactions with him, or a tone of voice. And do you think this is kind of a homage, Alex, to what might happen in the future very, very soon, more than we think?
I mean, yeah, it's a bit weird, this situation in overall, that we have to rely, as humans, we have to rely on a robot companion as a coping mechanism, because that's what these are. So we're in a society where these have been invented for sad people like all these couples, human couples. Because remember when we see Josh's character in his apartment with Iris being delivered in a box which literally looks like a coffin. She's rolled into his apartment. Everything looks sad in his apartment. He's dirty. He's a bit shy. He's a bit embarrassed to receive this toy because society perceives it as a sex toy too, not just like a psychological companion. But and to get that as a human, as a society, is to have to be needing to have that instead of a human replacement as a companion. It's a bit sad, and that this puts that very well, but also makes you root more for Iris, which is an anagram of Siri, by the way, if you read it backwards. Like we said, these characters, this situation makes humans look very bad, makes us look like villains, all of them in that house. Is that what, did it give you that feeling a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. You don't have any. There's no sympathy or empathy, is there, with the characters in the house? We don't have any empathy towards these robots, and I think there's one criticism of the film. I find that slightly unbelievable because of how realistic Iris is, and there is also another robot in the film as well, which again I won't spoil, but because of how realistic they are. But if there's one criticism, I would say that especially Josh's character, there seems to be such a lack of empathy. But anyway, it just makes these characters essentially arseholes, aren't they? They're just caught up in greed, and they've got no sympathy at all, and they've got no good bone in their body, really. They're it really does make you want to root for Iris if it does anything. But also, I was going to say to you, Alex, do you think this film hits on potentially real life relationships, maybe with men that are too controlling? I mean, in the film, Josh has this phone which he can, alter Iris in any way he wants. But I felt like there might have been a little bit of foreshadowing of not really abusive relationships, but just kind of controlling relationships in the film from a woman's perspective.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, this trait of being controllable falls right under the list of, horrible human beings, just like these guys are portrayed as. There's greed, there's racism, there's controllable, arrogant, controllable, and they are pretty much, all of them have those traits. And that's what makes humans look like villains in this film, which I don't mind because it's a film and it's fiction. And it's the only thing that I would have said I would have liked to see more, and I think you've touched on this, was a little bit more character development from Josh's character, because I would have liked to see the struggle between deciding to throw his companion under the bus and actual feelings that he has for her, because there are hints of that. Didn't you see in the beginning there's hints of him actually caring for her, and this machine actually delivering on the job that she was created for, as in making him a better person. But he kind of forgets that towards the end. Did you thought that way?
Yeah, I definitely. And also, I think the story would have been more dynamic if maybe Josh was caught in two minds at various parts of the film, whether or not to follow through with the plan or actually follow through with trying to hunt and kill Iris, essentially. But he's never caught in two minds. He's always one-dimensional in the film. He just knows that he needs to eradicate Iris, and then he can follow through with his plan. And I thought that it would be good maybe if there was some leeway there, and then there would be kind of more of a bond between the two characters in the film, but there isn't. But there we are.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit. This film and this is a very strong compliment. This really reminded me a little bit of Ex Machina. It's almost like a follow-up to it, where remember at the end of Ex Machina you get the robot escaping into the world. Well, this is probably where she would have ended, in a very much more developed version, very much more controllable, and that's a compliment in itself. But the other thing that sort of made me doubt was a bit of a gap or a loophole in the story was the fact that which company creates a robot that even has the option to go to 100% intelligence or 100% strength? Any responsible company wouldn't create a product that can be that powerful. That's a weapon, and you just release it to the public. You know what I mean? Because they have this slider that just goes strength 100%, intelligence 100%. Well, that just makes them much more stronger than everybody else as machines. So I thought that's a little bit irresponsible. But then, hey, we've got technology companies that are irresponsible already in present instead of. So I'm not. I wasn't too bothered by that.
It doesn't take too much of a leap of faith to believe that, really. But yeah.
Thank you for watching our review of Companion. And if you'd like to see a film that has similar vibes to this, watch our review of Long Legs. Thank you again for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.